Hi, guys, and welcome to the horror room. So, obviously, right up front, you're like, oh, he's not sitting down. This must be serious. It's not. We're going to talk about my Mighty Max collection today. So, I thought we'd do something a little different. I didn't want to pull every single little thing off the wall. Now, I have the open play sets. I am going to show those to you guys in little close up detail. But first off, let me show you this cool shirt that I'm wearing. It's the Mighty Max knockoff Pocket Horrors. I had this custom made just for fun. Could have done Mighty Max, but had to be weird. These are pretty dumb bootlegs, but the art on them, just look it up. I mean, the Dracula one's probably the best one. Maybe the zombie, they're a little cool. But yeah, the artwork is just ridiculous, and try to catch your imagination and your attention to say, look, it's Mighty Max, even though it's not. I did take one of them off because it was kind of in the corner I wanted to show you guys, and that's the Battle Conqueror. This was a later series that they released, and they're like these bigger, like they kind of open up like a play set, but they're like kind of giant creatures or whatever. And this one's kind of a lion. And this was also when they started releasing Norman and Maxwell, I think, are their names. Norman and Virgil. I was close. Norman and Virgil from the TV series with the Mighty Max figure. So yeah, I'm going to put this back on the wall, and then I'm going to show you guys these. Alright, so I'm taking you guys on a tour of the Mighty Max wall. Now, right on top, we have some of the Doom Zones. These ones are really hard to find in the packaging, and they're kind of a pricey gamble. But I have from Series 3, The Fly. This is one that I had growing up. I really love the actual fly right there. Let's see if you can see him right there. And then there's this little bug guy right there that came with it. Next to him is another favorite from my childhood, the man-eater, the shark. Comes with these cool squids and the squid man. And you gotta love the shark design, like the bloody teeth and all. That's what it looks like when it's closed, but I like the packaging, shows you the inside. Then we have the scorpion one, which comes with, a big old scorpion and a guy in a gas mask suit and like some weird guns and stuff. And then you have over in the corner, this is really hard to stretch over here, the Dino Lab. And it's got, some dinosaurs, pterodactyl. Yeah, I'm just trying to show you guys. And then, of course, down there's that Battle Warrior that I showed you guys. But then we have the horror heads, which are the smaller, like medium-sized ones. Now, I've had these sealed for a while. I have Nightwing, one of my personal favorites. Then we have the Droid Invader. He's got like the little brain robot guy and the little robot man. Then next to him, you have the Lava Beast. This is another personal favorite one. I always like the little lava bug and brain creature that come with him. Sorry for the glare. Then we have Skull Warrior. It's another really cool one. I love that's that ship thing or whatever that he rides on is part of the eye, as you can tell. They usually try to do things like that with some of these smaller sets, like Sea Squirm. You got the horns or the claws for the giant crab thing that Max can apparently ride on. And then you have the snake, or the eel, that's coming out of Sea Squirm's mouth. Then we have the Nuke Ranger. Another kind of a robotic type of man with a little ship, but this is for Max to fly around in. And then, of course, those make the breathing barrels, and then the eyeballs, of course. And then you have... Oh, that was Nuke Ranger. Then you have Chronosaur, which is the most simple one, but it's so fun. It's got a little caveman and the Stegosaurus. Gosh, I can't think today. Then we have the Zomboid one, another great set. Of course, me being obsessed with zombies, you got the green part that basically is the brain and the eyeball, and then you got the little bug that kind of you can see in his open mouth. Then you have Series 2, which I remember having most of these as well. It was just Series 3 that I didn't have. We have Lockjaw, and you got the little tomb thing with the padlock, and then you get the Axe Maniac guy in his mask. Next to him, you have the Axeman, who you'd think he would be in this one. Yeah, you'd think you would. This guy, though, I mean, you can clearly tell by the little mold that it's supposed to be this guy. He just looks way better there, because they couldn't really paint him that small. And you get the weird axe trap thing that makes up part of his head. Yeah. And then you have, shoot, I'm trying to remember what this one's called. I might have to look on the back of one of these. Hounds the Werewolf, so yeah. Oh, maybe. So yeah, then you have the little wolf dog ears and another little dungeon. Pretty cool. And then you have Corpus, which is like a zombie one with his boogers. It comes with that really cool tall zombie guy. Reminds me of the I can't remember his name. I really can't. It's from an old movie. My bad. Then you got the Gravedigger guy, and you got Max with his little insecticide gun thing. Like, I don't know why they chose that. So let me get this down. I forgot that we were going to be doing all the Mighty Max stuff, so I need to get this one down. So here are the Mighty Max playsets I have that are open, starting with one of the little shrunken head ones. I have the vampire one too, but it's on my jacket. That video may or may not be out by now. These ones came with like a single Mighty Max figure. The ones I have don't have anything in them. So yeah, they're neat, but I'm not like hugely into collecting them. So let's start with the most iconic one, Skull Dungeon. So right off the bat, his jaw opens up, and that's like the stairway leading up to the front, which it's going to be really hard to open these one-handed, but I'm going to try. Yeah. So like that's the front of the castle, and then you go in. Let's see if I can scoot over here. There we go. A little more light. And you've got like this bookcase that moves. You've got the little Frankenstein. And you've got the lever. And Mighty Max, of course, has fallen. I don't have the Doctor figure. The one I had broke. And I also don't have the little tower, yellow tower thing that, tracks the lightning. But whatever. So there's that one. Where did I put the rat? Uh-oh. Oh, I was sitting on him. We're going to move those over there. Let's check out the snake one next. This one's going to be really hard to open one-handed. Oh, actually I did it. Okay, so this part connects to the snake. I'm not going to even bother. Well, actually, I probably can. Let me see if I can. Because it would look better for the video. Yeah, there. Oh, almost. Maybe. Well, okay. Well, it's not going to work. But yeah, you have the, little Egyptian pyramid theme with the hieroglyphics. And then down there you have a snake pit, and you have Max and a scorpion. The scorpion does come out, yes. So yeah, it's a cool little playset. I've always thought it was pretty unique. Uh-oh. Well, I'll put him back together. Some of these playsets, that's my only grievance with them. Some of them are a little hard to close back once you've opened them. And I mean, that could be a factor of time. It could be a factor of, placing the little figures inside. Here's one that's a personal favorite from my childhood. You've got this little spider bugman dude. And then, of course, you've got the bigger spider. And then I think, yeah, Max is trapped in the web. Oh, no. And this one's fairly simple to close. Yeah. And then it actually looks like the spider, which is cool. Then we have, this is one I don't think I had when I was younger. Wolf Ship 7. So when I was buying these, I was mainly going after the ones I had when I was a kid, but there was like a few that I was like, you know what, why not? Let's get a few of these weird ones. Now the thing I don't like about this set, let me get it, is these little alien guys. They're very hard to keep standing, and they're not very interesting, honestly. There's like this little glider ship that comes that you can put Max on, which is cool, kind of cool, I guess. But it does make up like the teeth or whatever, or the ship part. I can't even get it closed one-handed. It's probably this alien dude right here, honestly. Oh, there it goes. So yeah, sometimes these things can be a pain to close. These smaller play sets in general. This is the Doom Slayer or Doom Dragon, I think. So you open him up, you've got these skeletons and caves. You've got this little wizard guy. I love the doofy looking dragon. You got this bridge, which Max is like bigger. Let me see if I can pull him out. He's actually bigger than the bridge, so it's kind of funny. I know it's hard to see around my gigantic hands. So yeah. We're going to close that for now. Maybe. Oh. Yeah, see, like I said, these are pain in the butt to try and get them to close. There. Now that Max is in place. There we go. See, all it takes is one little piece. So next, let's look at the gorilla one. This is another one. The Ape King. Oh gosh, this one's really hard to get open. Hold on, I'm going to put the phone down. You guys can just stare at those other two. Oh my goodness. There we go. There we go. Okay. So this one, you open it up, and it's got this nice little jungle scene. You've got there's a big purple cobra that's attached to the floor. He does not come out, unfortunately. You get the silverback gorilla, and then you also get this cool little tribal tiki man. Oh goodness. I guess this is supposed to be like the Mighty Max Cannibal Holocaust playset. That's what I've always thought of it. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And it definitely looks cool from the front. Then we have the Ice Alien. Here's another one that I didn't really have growing up, but the price was right, and I said, you know what? This one is actually pretty cool. Just the interior of it. You got like this bridge deck thing, which I don't want to pull all the way down, but you got the weird ice alien. They look like Tyrannosaurus necks or something. And you got Mighty Max there. So yeah, pretty interesting, pretty unique playset. And I like that it comes out the front there. Then we have the Battle Cat one. This one is really cool. I love the blood on the fangs. And then you open it up, which, again, let me see if I can, because this one... oh, yeah, I remember how to open it now. Maybe. Oh, yeah, you pull... You actually got to pull the bottom jaw to open the sides, which... There we go. And then this one's more of a cave. I think there's like hieroglyphics or something in here. Maybe it was a different set. Oh no, like the evolution of the wheel up here. You can kind of see. And then you have the cool bloody mastodon. Of course, there's a little pit trap where Mighty Max is. And then there's a caveman with a boulder. So, pretty cool. And this one actually closes fairly easy. Once you have everything in place, of course. Then we have the Cyclops set. This is another one that I really, really love. And a lot of these ones with the jaw, they open way easier than any of the other ones. This creature was always one of my favorite toys when I was little. Just this weird eyeball monster. And then you got another little cage for Max. You also got an Iron Maiden right there next to him, which is pretty dark for a kid's toy. And I think this might be like an oven. or like a lava pit or something. So it's a lot of torture stuff. There's a torture rack. The cage, though, that Max is in has always reminded me of Mousetrap. And then you got this purple dude with a whip. He kind of reminds me of like one of the enemies from Golden Axe, if you've ever played that. Or, you know, maybe like a medieval Thanos. I don't know. But yeah. And it closes right up. Looks pretty cool. And last but not least, this is the one that I never had growing up, but I really, really wanted it. And it was not cheap. And that is the hand playset. Now there's Max right there, and you got like a little zombie guy right there creeping out. He's attached though. But then up here, I don't want to open it, but there's a tree monster. Actually, let me see if I can do it with it down. Yeah, let me try it that way. Yeah, the tree monster figure. And usually this set, if you find it, to find both creatures in it is kind of rare. I just want to show you this really cool. The finger opens up and it's like a Venus flytrap monster. I love that. But then down here in this little part, if I can open it without pulling him out, there's another little wood tree zombie thing. So yeah, I love the little hiding spots that they have for everything. And this is another one that's very like iffy on if it will close or not. You have to make sure everything is in the exact spot. And a lot of the packaging and stuff, they would come with little instructions on, you know, where to put the figures when you close them. But, you know, as little kids, we probably didn't keep a lot of those. And last but not least, we have Skull Mountain, which this is one that I really wanted as a kid because it was one of the biggest play sets. And I got all the accessories and stuff in a little bag. There's like a little crab guy that comes out. Oh yeah, the little wheel. Let me see if I can. Yeah, Crab Man. Then you have this orange dragon, which is pretty cool. Little double-headed dragon dude. He sits right there. You got this elevator made of like a rib cage, which is pretty cool. Pretty metal. Now, this set does come with Virgil and Norman pieces. This part is like part of the base, I think, or it like wraps around to something. But yeah, this is another one that, you know, it's fun when it's set up and you can goof around with it, but fitting all the pieces in here is kind of a nightmare. So I opened it once when I bought it to mess around with it, but now it's just more of a display piece, like, hey, look at this. So yeah, that is my Mighty Max collection. Honestly, I'm missing some of the later sets and stuff, some of the smaller ones. Like there's a bunch of the shrunken head ones that are really hard to find. But I'm not too interested in those, and I've got most of the ones that I had growing up. So I'm pretty happy with them. But let me know, did you guys like that video? Did you like seeing these Mighty Max ones? Yeah, we'll have to do some more. I got the aliens and the Kenner stuff still, so maybe that'll be next week. Who knows? But thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.